Welcome everyone to this amazing encounter between the young American talent Ethan Sheehan and he takes on Hikaru Nakamura. Ethan is just 18 years old and when he made it to this super finals of Blitz, it was a big surprise to everyone. But he's very good at Blitz and now in the super finals he faces one of the best Blitz players in the world, Hikaru Nakamura. This is going to be super exciting. Ethan, I think, has been dreaming about this encounter to play against Hikaru. A handshake, pawn to e4 played by Ethan. c5, Hikaru is going for the attack. We have the Moscow's variation in the Sicilian. Knight takes, castles, and pawn to e6. The rook comes to e1, defending the pawn. And bishop e7. Ethan goes pawn to c4, creating the Morozzi bind setup. There are many ways to play for white, sometimes c3 d4, sometimes c4 d4, sometimes directly d4, and Ethan goes for c4 and Hikaru jumps in knight e5. Now the thing is, if you take, I take back, and then the queen opens up to these weaknesses along the d file. So excellent move by Hikaru, who did not just go through the motions and develop his knight. He brought his knight to e5, and look at Ethan there. He is played d4, takes, pawn takes, spoiling his structure, because if you would have taken with the queen, cd4 would have been a free pawn. So pawn takes, queen takes, attacking the g7 pawn. Bishop comes to f6, and now knight e7. Hikaru is happy with what he's got in the opening. Knight comes out to c3. Ethan, although his position isn't particularly great, is moving fast, and that's one of the things in Blitz. You need to move fast. If you have a bad position as well as low on time, that's just game over, and that too against Hikaru. So right now he's already built up a 30-second lead on the clock. Knight g6 played. The knight is looking at e5, f4, h4, these squares, and Ethan goes pawn to f4, black castles, and bishop e3. Ooh, and now at this point you can play bishop takes c3. I mean, if you take with the pawn, that's terrible structure. So queen takes and queen h4, attacking f4, and I think that position is seriously better for Hikaru, and Hikaru does it. Bishop takes c3. Excellent chess by Hikaru, showing his class here. And Ethan now, well, of course, must take with the queen. There's no other good move. And he's thinking and what to do to queen h4. He takes and Hikaru instantly goes to h4. Now the f4 pawn is weak. There's just no way you can defend it. Like takes here, if you push f5, that's just terrible because e4 is hanging, queen g4 check, and then the e4 pawn falls. I mean, the position is disintegrating. So Ethan now taking his time. Queen d2 would feel like a right move, but then queen h3 followed by knight h4, knight f3, and it's already a mate. So he goes f3, and maybe he's just making sure that the second rank opens up. Now for Hikaru, winning a pawn is possible, like takes here, it's a good move. But rook c8, rook d8, even just building the position is fine. Takes, queen comes to d2, attacking the knight, also the d6 pawn. And now a good idea is to just go back knight g6, because if you take queen takes d6, I can simply go rook d8, and if let's say queen g3, I keep the queens on the board with the rook entering in. This would be a very nice position to play. So Hikaru right now has a problem of plenty. He can go back to g6, he can give a check here, he can also think about pushing his pawn to e5. He sits down here thinking about to play. He goes knight h3, king h1, and rook d8. Now the rook comes on d8, but with this I think Hikaru's forgotten that the a7 pawn is hanging. He could have brought his other rook perhaps into the game. That could be a little bit of a not a great thing, and he takes it. Bishop a7. Ethan is challenging Hikaru, pushes d5, and look at Hikaru there shaking his head. Because now what is happening is that, okay, if ed5, maybe queen takes c4 is hanging, and look at Ethan there. He's looking at the board very carefully because this is where his chances have come alive. cd, ed, ed taking the pawn. What's the point here exactly? Where is the material? Hikaru touches the queen, queen h5, rook d1, defending it. Ethan is now, from being a pawn down, he's a pawn up. And look at that quick decision he made. Queen takes f3 check, queen g2. He knows that this position is better for him. I mean, amazing, because Hikaru thought he's attacking these two pawns and Ethan plays rook a d1 in under a second. That's a great call by Ethan. And this has actually put Nakamura in a bit of a surprise. That what's happening here. And his time is running low. He's down to some less than a minute. And Ethan, rook d6. And look at this. Rook d6. There is bishop c5. Oh my god, what is the point? Let's think. Bishop c5. What is Hikaru thinking? Or maybe b6, because takes this queen f3 here, check and a draw. Okay. Maybe there is a perpetual. There's a perpetual here. If bishop c5, b6, forcing the bishop off the f2 square. Look at Ethan calculating carefully here. He goes bishop c5, rook g6, queen e3. What a move found in a second. The rook is hanging. If the rook moves, queen e8 is a mate. I mean, what a guy this is. He not only spotted that rook g6 Hikaru will play, but he also found his move, defending f3. And now Hikaru is losing an exchange. And look at that expression from Hikaru. He's just lost here. Incredible play by Ethan Sheehan. What I love about him is the fact that he could predict what Hikaru will play and found his own move as well. And now he's looking at the position and he's like, okay, I can just pick up the rook. It's a free rook. Because king takes f8, queen e8, mate. And look at Hikaru there now shaking his head. Takes on f8. The game is over. There's nothing here. h6, making a luft for the king. Bishop comes back. He's a full rook down. Knight f4. Hikaru has 4 seconds. 29 seconds for Ethan. Queen e8 check. And queen to e4. He comes back. What accurate play here by Ethan. He goes queen h3. And now rook g1. Knight comes to g2. And Hikaru loses on time. And look at Ethan there. He's so happy. He's so thrilled at having beaten Hikaru Nakamura, one of the idols in speed chess. I'm sure he wanted to beat him. And well, this is a big moment for Ethan. And do you know, Ethan Sheehan was one of Daniel Naroditsky's students at the camps that he would teach in Castle Chess. And so look at Ethan there. He runs to meet his friends. He's congratulated by everyone and he thoroughly deserves this moment. He played so well. He's hugging his friends. He's talking to them. He can't believe that he's just beaten Hikaru Nakamura, one of the best blitz players in the world of chess. And we leave you with these scenes. We interviewed him after these moments here. We also interviewed him after the tournament, where he managed to score 6 out of 9 and finished third in a field that had Sindarov. And so what a big find from the tournament. I'm pretty sure Ethan is the biggest find from the Daniel Naroditsky Memorial. Look at him there. Whoa, the joy of beating Hikaru.
Yo, what happened in the game? You won against Hikaru, yeah?
Yes.
What happened? Like, was it a time scramble or?
So I did some interesting stuff in the opening where I blundered a pawn, but I had some dynamic counterplay. He gave me the pawn back up, but he got a massive attack. And then somewhere he blundered his rook in time pressure, and then he technically lost on time, but my position was completely winning.
And you know the pairing yesterday, isn't it? Like you could. So did you prepare anything against Hikaru or anything, or?
No, I know for a fact that these top players can play anything they want. So I just made sure I knew the basic principles of all my openings, and then I just had fun from there.
You're playing the finals. You're the top 10 amongst like so many people. Like you're playing the finals, yeah. Like how was your experience playing yesterday? Like blitz, you qualified, and today you're playing the finals.
I could not believe that I qualified. I think it's an honor to play these great players. So, but when I beat Ruslan at the very end, I thought it's actually happening, and I kind of thought I'm like. Thank you so much. I kind of felt like I was, let's say, a boss about the candidates, but even more of an underdog. So the fact that I'm at 2 out of 3 just astounds me right now.
So is this your like highest rated player win against any like you have played?
Yes, it is.
Amazing. All the best for the rest of the rounds.
Thank you so much. Really.
Oh, let's go!
Oh my God.
My friend, I said to you, how do you feel?
I feel amazing. He was outplaying me, and I thought for sure I was going to just blunder and lost. Yeah, he was up a pawn from the opening, but I just created some dynamic chances, and then when he blundered his rook, I thought, okay, I have to be missing something, but when I couldn't find anything, I thought, just take the rook and hope I didn't blunder.
Right? At that point, I feel like after bishop c5, you were winning, I think.
I think, yeah,
I don't think
there's a way to give up the exchange without blundering away the rook.
But you were still winning, I think.
What? Yeah, he did blunder. Bishop takes f8.
I said, I believe you, you know. I said it's here.
I cannot. Yeah, I cannot believe this has happened.
Congrats. Perfect.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Bro, this is happening.
Ethan, what a final you had. You were like the bottom seed when coming into this blitz. I want to ask you, you qualified yesterday. How was the feeling like qualifying to such a strong tournament?
It was amazing. So on the way there, I told my friends that I had some fantasies about making the finals. So when it actually happened, I couldn't believe it. And then right after I knew I qualified, I figured, okay, there's no pressure on me. If I get last, that's okay. But then when I started winning games, I thought, okay, I have a real chance. I just need to stay calm.
And what was your preparation like coming to today's game, knowing that you'll be facing Hikaru and like the strongest grandmasters in the world?
So I know that the strongest grandmasters in the world can play anything they want, so I didn't really prepare that much. I just tried to make sure I knew some ideas in all my white and black openings.
And you beat Hikaru. You played insanely well. Like, could you take us through, like, which was your favorite game today?
I know this might surprise you guys, but my win against Sam Seven was actually my favorite.
Whoa.
I was pretty nervous going into the round because he's beaten me a lot on chess.com, and then he did a really aggressive line that I have a lot of experience with in Blitz. I haven't studied it per se, but I've gotten it a lot in Blitz, so when we did that, I was pretty confident, and then I found a very nice bishop move in a position where his knight was hanging, and then after that, I think I just didn't give him anything. So I would say that's my cleanest game in my opinion.
So does this tournament win? I think this is your biggest chess like performance you have ever played.
Oh, it absolutely is.
And you gained almost 55 rating points in this tournament alone. How does that feel?
I'm very excited about that. There aren't a lot of Rapid and Blitz tournaments, so I wanted to use this as a good opportunity, and I think it's safe to say I made the most of it. I would love, my next dream is to play in the World Rapid and Blitz Championship one day.
And I saw you also do chess coaching. I saw you have a YouTube channel. Tell us a bit about your chess career. Like, how did you start and how is it going?
My YouTube channel is really corny. Don't look too much at that. But I started playing chess when I was 5. I liked to play checkers before that. And I saw an ad for chess. And I thought, oh, that game's pretty cool. I should try to download it. And then I played my first tournament at 7. And yeah, I just never knew that I would be facing the top players in the world now.
And you're just 17 years old, if I'm not wrong. You'll be turning 18 in like a couple of days.
9 days, but yes.
9 days.
No.
So, like, are you still studying? Are you pursuing something?
Absolutely. I'm going to try to make Grandmaster. I'm taking a gap year just so I can focus on chess, and I'm going to try to travel throughout the U.S. to hopefully get IM during my gap year, and it would be nice to get GM, but I'm not expecting that.
But does this win give you like a motivation to pursue chess full time, or?
Oh, it absolutely motivates me to pursue chess full time because before the finals, even I had this thing called imposter syndrome where I felt like I didn't really belong in a group of the elites. But knowing that I can compete with them, even if it's just in blitz, motivates me. And maybe one day I can replicate this performance.
I saw you have a lot of friends. After every win, you used to go to them. Like they cheered you up so well. Tell us a bit about that. Like how is that playing with your friends in such a tournament?
It is amazing to have such supportive friends. I don't think I would have gotten this far without them. Knowing how happy they were for me when I won, just kept me going. Especially in tough positions like against Vasifta or Barley, I was much worse. But I knew how happy my friends would be if I won. So I was motivated and I played on. And I got a bit lucky, but I ended up winning the game thanks largely to my friends.
One final question. You played this tournament. It's a very special tournament planned to give a tribute to Danya. Tell us a bit about how do you feel about Danya? Like, do you have any favorite? Do you like his commentary, or what type of memories do you have of him?
So I've had some truly amazing memories. I first met him at Castle Chess Camp in 2022. But we really started to bond in 2024. I played him online, and I was just completely stoked. I wrote, "Yo, Danya, it's Ethan. Do you remember me?" And to my surprise, he said, "Of course, Ethan." And then we met again at Castle Chess Camp in 2024. And okay, I was saying some brain rot like "let's skibbity," and to my surprise, we were playing some casual blitz, and he said it back to me. And that just absolutely made my day. Beyond that, I got to play hundreds, maybe even 1,000, but definitely hundreds of blitz games with him.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, even though he crushed me in a lot of them or swindled me, I'm grateful for every game I got to play against him. And I would do anything just to play one more.
Yeah, as we know, he was one of the best speed chess players in the world. And also, he got third place in blitz. So, is that something special?
It absolutely is. I know that he'd be happy for me if I was there, but also if he was there, he might have won the whole thing.
Definitely.
He definitely would have played a masterpiece against me.
Wonderful. I think it's a great tribute to your memories, to Danya, and I wish you all the very best for your future IM and GM titles.
Thank you very much.